Dear learners, I welcome you to this module related to the topic of downstream processing. After the fermentation is complete, the main part of the fermentation begins, that is the recovery of the product and its purification. It is very difficult part of fermentation and also requires a lot of financial investments. Challenge of recovery and purification process is to have a very fast recovery with the least amount of financial input. Generally, the cost required for the process of recovery differs from product to product. It ranges from 15% to 70% of the total production cost. All the processes in the fermentation, ranging from selection of the medium, selection of the organism, sterilization of the fermentation medium, inoculum buildup, optimization of all the parameters during the process of fermentation up to the formation of the product is called as upstream processing. As soon as the product is formed and the recovery and purification of the fermentation product starts, it is called as downstream processing. After fermentation is complete, the fermentation broth is analyzed for the product. The concentration of the product is very low because it is present in a very large volume of liquid, and the liquid contains bulk of undesirable substances like whole microorganisms, fragmented cells, soluble and insoluble media components and other metabolic products. The intention of downstream processing is to separate and recover maximally the product of interest. In any fermentation, the product may be one of the following type. It can be the cell itself. The product can be inside the cell, that is intracellular product. The product, if secreted outside the cell in the media, then it is extracellular product. There are many features of the product which should be handled with care, like it can be an intracellular product, it can be a heat labile product, or it can be easily broken down to another product by the contaminating microorganism. All these factors generate difficulties during the downstream processing. Recovery process is based on the following: the location of the product, whether it is intracellular or extracellular, the concentration of the product in the fermentation broth, the physicochemical properties of the product, the application of the product, and the standards of purity we should always attain. The purity standards of any product is very important if the biohazard character is in the product or the broth. Proper handling is suggested. The impurities present in the fermentation broth are removed in the first step. The first step in the recovery process of the product is to remove the excess quantity of large sized particles and microbial cells, which is done by the process of centrifugation or filtration. The broth is then fractioned and extracted using ultracentrifugation or ultrafiltration for reverse osmosis, for adsorption, or any kind of chromatography which is suitable, taking into consideration the nature of the product. The product containing fractions are then purified by fractional precipitation and chromatographic technique. Following is the flow chart which explains the basic steps of downstream processing. If the product is intracellular, then an additional step is added where the cell is lysed and the cell lysate is used to proceed for the further recovery and purification steps. Figure 1 gives an overall layout of the downstream processing. Removal of the microbial cells and other solid matter. The insoluble materials of big size are separated from the harvesting broth by filtration or centrifugation. Sometimes the size of the microbial cell is quite small, and therefore filtration is the only one of the method which can be used. Foam separation. Foam is one of the major factor which can be used in downstream processing. The foam separation depends upon the use of variety of methods which create differences in the surface activity of materials. The foam actually acts as an adhering material for the whole cell or a particular molecule or a protein which is selectively adsorbed on the surface of the gas bubble and rising through the liquid to be concentrated or separated. Following is the overlay of the foam separation process, in which we see that it is possible to make the materials surface active by adding agents like long fatty acids, amines and quaternary ammonium compounds. The materials are made surface active and then collected on the surface as they are termed as colligants. The surfactants which are used for their collection are termed as collectors. Precipitation. Precipitation is a method which can be conducted at various stages in the process of recovery of the product. Precipitation is a method which allows concentration of the product in a single step. It reduces the overall volume of the fermentation broth to the minimum. Precipitation can be affected by use of different agents like acids or bases which change the pH of the solution when the compound reaches its isoelectric point and the pH is equal to the Pi. Then the overall charge of the molecule becomes neutral and its solubility decreases. Salts used in precipitation are ammonium and sodium sulfates. They are very popular precipitating agents. They are generally used for proteins. These salts remove water from the surrounding of the protein, which causes exposure of hydrophobic patches. This results in the exposure of the hydrophobic parts of the protein on its surface, which comes together causing the protein to precipitate. Organic solvents like methanol, chilled ethanol and acetone can also be used for precipitation of proteins. The principle is they change the isoelectric property of the solution. Certain protein binding dyes like triazine dyes can also be used for precipitation of proteins. Non-ionic molecules, polyethylene glycol is used for precipitation of proteins and they behave similar to organic solvents. Filtration. Filtration is a very common and simple process which can be introduced at any level of downstream processing. This process helps in removal of suspended particles from a liquid medium. Simple filtration apparatus is shown in the figure 2. In this figure, it consists of a support which is covered by the porous filter cloth, over which the slurry is added. It is to be filtered and slowly particulate matter settles down in form of filter cake and the filtrate is passed through the holes and is allowed to be collected from the bottom. For cleaning of the filter, a reverse flow of water is used and the clogs are cleaned. Many types of filters are available in the market as batch filters. Centrifugation. Microorganisms and other similarly sized particles can be removed from the blood or the broth by using centrifuge. When filtration is not suitable for the separation of the product because it is an expensive method. Filtration has its own limitations of having a slow speed and the process is difficult to complete maintaining purity. The assembly should support continuous separation and high standard of hygiene is required. Centrifuges have a limited capacity and therefore not suitable for large scale separations. The centrifugation is used in harvesting cells from the fermentation broth. They are operated on a continuous or semi-continuous basis, which can be used for separation of two immiscible liquids. The liquid mixtures may have the heavy and the light phase liquids, or removal of solid phase from the mixture. Precipitation conditions require an additional support in form of flocculating agent to the broth in wastewater treatment. Flocculating agents are added for removal of microbial cells and suspended solids. Microorganisms in solution are usually held as separate units because their surfaces are negatively charged. They repel each other. They have a hydrophilic part exposed to water, which is also a barrier for aggregation during flocculation. Neutralization of anionic charges by addition of phosphate groups on the surface of a microbial cell allows the cells to aggregate. It can be affected by change in the pH. When the surface hydrophilicity is reduced, it helps in aggregation further. Use of high molecular weight polymer bridges, which can help in increasing the ability of the cells to aggregate, can also be used. Cell disruption. The microbial cell has to be lysed if the product lies inside the cell or it is intracellular. The lysis of the cell releases its cellular content after disintegration. Following are the main methods of recovery, which is similar to the extracellular product. Many methods of cell disruption are available. They are categorized under two classes: the physico-mechanical methods and the chemical methods. The physico-mechanical methods involve using of liquid shear, using of solid shear, and the use of abrasives, freeze thawing, as well as ultrasonication. The chemical methods include use of detergents, use of osmotic shock, use of alkali, and enzyme treatment. Liquid-liquid extraction. Separation of a component from the liquid mixture by treatment with a solvent in which the desired product is preferentially soluble is known as liquid-liquid extraction. The specific requirement is high percentage of extraction of the product, good recovery percentage. Choice of the solvent depends upon the partition coefficient represented as K. The partition coefficient is equal to the concentration of the solute in the extract upon the concentration of solute in the raffinate. Following is the figure which explains the counter current extraction system. The solvent recovery. The most important part in extraction process is a solvent recovery plant, which is the distillation unit. It is not normally essential to remove all the substance from the solvent, as this will be recycled to the system. Distillation may be achieved with three stages: evaporation, that is removal of the solvent; vapor liquid separation; columns to separate the lower boiling points liquids and more volatile components. From the other side, the vapor is used to recover the more volatile solvent fraction. Following is the figure of continuous distillation plant. Chromatography. In various fermentation processes, chromatographic techniques are used to isolate and purify the product which has a very low concentration. Chromatography is a very effective technique for separation of product. That various principles of chromatographies are available for purification. The selection of the type of chromatography depends upon the nature of product to be separated. Adsorption chromatography, ion exchange chromatography, gel permeation chromatography, affinity chromatography, reverse phase chromatography, and high performance liquid chromatography. Chromatography is generally used in the final stages of purification, when the concentration of the product has been done and the final step of purification is to be completed. Drying. Drying of any product, including the biological products, is the last step of manufacturing. It involves the final removal of water from a heat sensitive material, maintaining minimum loss of viability, activity, and nutritional value. The benefits is that the cost of transport is reduced, the material is easier to handle, and the material can be stored in more conveniently in the dry state. In the following figure, the drum dryer is seen. The dryer functions on the basis of heat transfer to the product. The contact dries the product due to the heated surface, like in case of drum dryer, the surface of the drum. It is used for more temperature stable bioproducts. Let us see in the figure which shows the working of the rotating steam heater drum dryer. Evaporation takes place and the dried product is removed by the scraper blades as shown in the figure. The material is in contact with the heated surface for 6 to 15 seconds. The heat transfer coefficient is generally between 1 to 2 kilowatt, so that it can be used at lower temperatures for drying. It is widely used for drying biological materials. Spray dryers. Spray dryers is most widely used when the biological material are to be dried in form of a paste or liquid. It does not come in direct contact with the heated surface. It is converted into small droplets which come in contact with the rotating disc. The broth is passed through an atomizer which converts it into droplets. The fine droplets then fall on a spiral steam of the hot gas at 150 to 250 degrees. The high surface area volume ratio of the droplet results in rapid rate of evaporation. It results in complete drying of a substance in few seconds. Freeze drying. Freeze drying method is common and more economically available to handle large volumes of broth. Freeze drying is also an important operation for products, especially of pharmaceutical importance. The material is first frozen and dried by sublimation under high vacuum. The benefit of this technique is that it does not harm the heat labile substance. The process is often termed as lyophilization when the solvent being evaporated is water.